Welcome to another edition of our Beyond the Numbers interview series, where we speak to Valley leaders about what advice they have for themselves and why they love accounting. Today, we're speaking with Charles Burns. Charles is the regional controller at Champions Group's Holdings. I was excited. He said yes. I'll put his full bio in the show notes below, as well as his LinkedIn profile. But not only is Charles a CMA, he is a CFA. So I thought he would be a good person to give us some advice. So welcome, Charles. Are you ready to get started?
Ready.
So tell us, if you could go back to when you were that staff and senior accountant, what advice would you give yourself?
Probably a lot of advice I'd give myself. Try to stand out from the rest. Just meaning, staying late if needed, meeting your deadlines, offer help, with special projects. It shows you're a team player. It also shows you want to help and you're willing to learn.
Right.
Try to find somebody to mentor you. I did that in my career, but I felt like I did it too late. It still worked out for me, but I feel like if you find somebody that you kind of latch onto and mentor and pick their brain, you'll learn a lot more. And also just, slow down when it comes to advancement opportunities. Sometimes you need to master the position you're in before you advance. You just gain more experience and knowledge. And it's really helpful down, in your career when you advance at some point.
Right.
Just ask a lot of questions too. I feel like sometimes you're afraid to ask questions, you're afraid to make mistakes. Ask a lot of questions, learn from your mistakes. Try to better yourself, take classes, to increase your knowledge, such as like leadership classes. Try to get, your CPA, CMA, CFA. Just try to do something to better yourself and kind of set yourself apart from others.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you said set yourself apart from others. That could be as simple as coming to work on time.
Exactly.
Doing things accurately the first time, or, paying attention to the feedback that you're getting and making the corrections, right?
Exactly.
It could be simple things, right?
It doesn't have to be technical. It can be simple. Yeah, showing up on time. Having dressing, have a tucked in shirt and looking, presentable, and just simple things like that. Just try to stand out from others, and meeting your deadlines is huge. Just try to do things that are expected of you, and just do them the best to your, to your knowledge and to your abilities.
Yep. Okay, now you did get a CMA. So yeah. What made you get the CMA? And because I always tell people get the CMA. You don't have to go to school for 150 credit hours. Get the CMA. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I never wanted to do taxes. I still don't want to do taxes. And I feel like a CMA is more well-rounded. Nothing against CPAs. I have a lot of friends that are CPAs. But I feel like you learn a lot more. You're more well-rounded as the managerial accountant. So that's the reason I went that route.
Okay.
And again, I didn't want to do taxes. So that was the route I wanted to go.
Okay. Obviously you're smart because you have passed all three parts of your CFA, and I think the CFA has a lower pass rate than the CPA, if I understand that correctly. So what motivated you to then get your CFA?
Well, I was a financial analyst. I was a senior analyst for 𝗬𝗏 Healthcare, and I really enjoyed it. The analysts really make a difference. Getting information out to the frontline leaders, the business leaders, so they can make decisions in a timely manner. Could really affect the business. It's something I really enjoyed. It really does help the business being an analyst and giving them the information they need to run the business. So that's why I went that route. It's something I really enjoyed. I think you need to enjoy something before you just go get some certificate. It has to be something that you really are passionate about, and which I was.
If I remember correctly from your LinkedIn profile, your title has been controller, but have you overseen both sides then, like the traditional accounting and then budgeting and forecasting as well?
Correct. Yeah, I've been AR, AP, staff accountant, senior accountant, analyst, senior analyst, a corporate controller, which I was a corporate controller for 6 years at Red Mountain Weight Loss. I moved to private equity, which is where I'm at now. I'm a regional controller for the Southwest and our West region.
Okay.
So it's a little bit different. It's not your typical corporate controller where you close the books, you manage the day-to-day. My job is to help grow the businesses organically. I work closely with the presidents of the region. I actually report to the presidents and not the CFO. So I'm more of an analyst right now, even though my title says controller. More of an analyst, more of an analyst or like a regional CFO type.
Okay.
Because it's my job to grow the business. It's not my job to close the books as much. I still do review the financials and present the financials to our investors, but it's my job to help grow the businesses.
Okay. Do you think your CFA adds value to where you are right now in your current position?
Yeah, definitely. Because like I said, I'm more of an analyst right now, so that's helped me. I use that more than probably any of my other, like my CMA or even my accounting degree. I mean, my CFA is what I've used my last, I would say, 10 years the most, because I'm more of an analyst than an accountant.
Okay, but you should still get your accounting degree because this
is of course. I'm just saying what I personally use, because I like being more of an analyst. That's more of my passion. So that's the route I.
I'll move on to the next question. And I think it's not going to be that you love accounting. So typically it's like, why do you love accounting? But maybe more, what value has accounting added for you in your career?
I do love accounting. It's something I enjoy, but it's added a lot of value in my career. It's giving me job security. You know, you're always going to need accountants. I feel like AI cannot do accounting, so you're always going to need accountants. So job security is one. There's a lot of career options. There's a lot of different routes you can go. You can do tax, you can do audit, you can become a CFO. Some CFOs become CEOs. You can go public, you can go private, you can go private equity. There's just so many options that you're not just stuck in one industry or one option. You can try them all. You can try one, see which one you like. So there's a lot of options.
Right.
The income's great. Even, you know, at an entry level position as AP, AR, or staff accountant, the income's pretty good, and you can, you know, make a ton of money if you become, you know, a CFO or CEO.
Right.
So it's your choice, but the income's great.
Okay.
And then advancement opportunities. There's a lot of opportunities. You could do so many different things. And some people don't want to be a CFO. That's fine too. There's a lot of opportunities of being a senior accountant, or senior analyst, or and senior, you know, auditor. Whatever you want to do. There's a lot of opportunities. So those are kind of what the values add to my career, because I really the job security is huge. My goal is to be a CFO one day, and that's my route. That doesn't mean that it has to be anybody else's route, but that's my route. So that's something that I'm very interested in. So yeah. That's about it.
I imagine your current position is really preparing you for that next step as the CFO.
It is, because I'm more of an operational accountant. I'm not, you know, so I'm getting a lot of experience in operations, not just on the accounting side.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm more well-rounded now in my career, and I'm taking my time. I'm not in any rush. I think that's another lesson: is take your time. Just make sure you're ready. Don't you know, if you get an opportunity to be a CFO and you're not ready, you don't want to have that failure. So just make sure you're ready. Take your time.
Do you have any advice for somebody that is at that staff or senior accountant that wants to be promoted? Is there any advice that you could give that would help them be promoted in their career?
I would say, you know, let your supervisor or boss, you know what your goals are. If they don't know what your goals are, then, you know, like for me, I let, you know, my CFO know my goals, and then she would mentor me to cater to my goals. So if I want to be a senior accountant, then she would help me get that knowledge. She would, you know, mentor me to give me that knowledge. Also, I would say just be the best you can at your position now, because that's going to make you stand apart. If you master whatever position you're in, as a, let's say, staff accountant, you master that position. You're doing a great job. You stand out. You don't make any mistakes. You learn from your mistakes. They'll come to you. They would rather promote within. Believe me, that's usually how it works. It's easier that way. So if you just master the position you're in, I feel like you have a better opportunity to get promoted.
Okay. That's all really good advice. And I've started asking this question because I talk to so many staff accountants that are afraid to go talk to their bosses, that, you know, they want to be promoted. Okay.
Your boss is just a normal person. Everybody, they're just people. I mean, honestly, that's how I look at it. Now you show respect, but they're still your boss. So, but they're just people. Just talk to them normal. I mean, just tell them, you know, your goals, and that way they can help you out with those goals.
Because if they don't know, they can't help.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. And not every boss is going to be a great mentor. You know, sometimes you have good ones, sometimes you have bad ones, but you still need to let other people know what your goals are so they can try to help you. And if it's not your boss, maybe it's somebody that's a little bit above you. So maybe it's your staff accountant, senior accountant.
Okay.
This guy's great at this. So, hey, why don't you, you know, pick that person's brain and learn from them? It could be anybody. So, but you need to express your goals.
Okay. All right, Charles, we appreciate your time today. Thank you very much for sharing your advice. Thank you everybody for watching, and stay tuned for another episode of our Beyond the Numbers series. Thank you.
Thank you.